friends, welcome back to another video. So we're going to be doing a hybrid calisthenics and weighted leg workout today. And I like to add in some weights to my calisthenics day leg workouts because I did hypertrophy for so long that now I just need to have that increased force in order to get any strength from the legs. So I'll be showing you a mix of both body weight exercises that you can do at home with minimal to no equipment, and also some of the fun gym exercises you can use to really strengthen our legs. So let's get to it.
Also, really quick, so the goal of our warm-up, it's going to be a mixture of mobility exercises and just some cardio for me, because that really helps increase my core body temp, which is the whole point of the warm-up. Activate those muscles that you're going to use and get them ready, kind of loose, while also increasing your body temp so your body is ready to go. So I'm going to start with about 5 minutes of cardio over here, and then I'll show you some mobility exercises you can do, and then we'll get straight into the leg workout. Only go as high as you want on that one. Don't feel like you have to stretch out your hip flexor too much. I'm pretty warm and pretty flexible, so I wasn't straining much there. But if your hamstrings are naturally a bit tighter, don't do the kick-ups all the way, just go as high as you like this. All right, let's get to the first exercise, deadlifts. Alright, so I found the deadlift. So how I warm up with deadlift is I do 50% of my 1 rep max for 5 reps, and I do 2 sets of that, and then I slowly increase it until I'm at my working weight. So I'll do 50% for 2 sets, and then I'll do 70% or so for 1 set, and then I'll head up to my working weight. And by then I've already worked on my form, practiced engaging my scapulas, and made sure that I'm not going to get into any big injury when I'm trying heavy weight. Hips shoulder width, hands grab the bar, scapulas together, chest forward, and then push through the ground. And now we increase that to my 70% max. And then we just keep working up from there until we're at our working weight, keeping form as priority. So in that last set there, where I'm working on my working rate, definitely feeling the weight. Not just moving it, feeling it. We're feeling it there. For people who don't consider deadlifting a leg day exercise, I hear you. Totally fine. It's just one of my goals right now, so I know I need to hit it on certain days of the week. And just the nature of my upper body days, I can't do deadlift on those upper body days because a lot of them have very intense scapula engaging movements. So I try to space out my scapula exercises a little bit throughout the week. So today we're deadlifting, but it does hit a lot of leg muscles, being it's a compound exercise. So deadlift you if you want or not. The next one we're gonna do is gonna be toe taps on the bench. This is a good progression to get your pistol squat and your dragon squat. And if these are too challenging, try doing the toe taps on just one side or use an assist if that's easier for you. Okay, so now we're going to be working in the hypertrophy range, which is going to be 12 reps for 3 sets, and we're going to be doing hip thrusts. I'm going to be using assisted weight, and if this is too much for you, I'm going to be showing you some calisthenics complementary hip thrust exercises in about 2 minutes. So let's do 12 reps of these. So hinging at the hips, really squeezing your glute there. You don't want to be using your back. If you're using your back, drop your weight because that might injure it. So we're going to work on really engaging the glute. You gotta love the up close and sweaty shots of me. All right, so last weighted one we're gonna do for now before we hit those glute calisthenics exercises is gonna be leg press. So making sure that you're not locking out your legs here. That's really important because you don't wanna have any injuries. Really using those quads and just getting familiar with this compound exercise is a great way to get started on leg press before you go really hard on it. So let's go. All right, so now we're gonna get into some calisthenics like exercises that target your glutes. So the first one is going to be one-legged bridge or elevated hip thrusts, whatever you want to call them. I'm gonna show you the form. Make sure you're engaging your glutes here. One leg is gonna be up in the air, while the other is going to be bent with the foot resting on our bench here. And that's the leg where you're going to hinge at the hips and really engage your glute here. We're gonna do 8 each side. It's okay if balance is hard. If the elevated is too much, go for the floor. That's totally fine too. I'm feeling the burn. These exercises are really great because you can take them anywhere. You just need a stool. You can do these at home. You can do these if you have no gym. You can do these at a park, outdoors. You can do these anywhere. So if you ever need like a little glute pick-me-up, this is a killer for you. They're gonna be dynamic one-legged hip thrust jumps. Yeah, it's a lot. They get your heart rate up, really focus on hinging at the hips and just pushing as hard as you can from the leg that's on the floor. Do your best to jump. If you can't, also totally fine. We're gonna do a short rest here, so only about 45 seconds before we go into the next round, and we'll do 3 total rounds, doing about 8 to 10 reps each side. All right, so this next one that we're gonna be doing is called reverse hypers. What you're doing is you're squeezing your glute while trying to maintain a semi-flat lower back. You don't wanna be flexing your lower back inward because this can injure your back in the long term if you really squeeze your lower back. So what we wanna do here is only squeezing at the glutes, keeping your legs together if you can, or if you can't, then feel free to bend at your knees. We're gonna do 7 reps of these, and when you hold at the top, do a 3-second pause before going down and doing your next rep. Okay, so I know that breathing is weird with these reverse hypers because when you're holding at the 3 seconds at the top, what I do is I hold my breath there. So I'll exhale as I'm lowering my legs down, inhale as I'm bringing them up, and then hold my breath for those 2 to 3 seconds as I'm squeezing my glutes. Breathing here is fine. You can try and breathe here, just what works for me, but I find it easier if I just hold my breath a few seconds and then exhale as I'm coming out of the engagement. So next one is gonna be box jumps. We're gonna be doing 12 reps for 3 sets of these, about a 45-second break in between, or take as long as you need, of course, but I feel like I get the really intense benefits if I have a bit of a shorter rest on this side. We're not going down to 30 seconds because this is not a HIIT workout right now, it's just plyometrics. So stick within the 45 seconds to 1 minute range of rest. Okay, so I personally step down after my box jump because I've done before where I'll jump down from the box and it's just a little bit harder on my knees because of my genetic history. But if you don't have knee problems or like a family history of knee problems, feel free to jump back down off the box. But a good alternative for those who are a little bit more concerned about their joints is just the step down. All right, so next we're going to do a bit of hamstrings exercising right now with the TRX straps. Feel free to use a hamstring curl machine if you prefer that. I have this calisthenics equipment available to me, so I'm going to use it. You can also use a yoga ball. So try and keep your body in a straight, flat line, and then when you're pulling both of your legs back towards you, really focus on squeezing your hamstrings and maybe a little bit your glutes, but I want a bit more of a hamstring dominant exercise right now, so I'm going to really focus on engaging those hamstrings here. All right, so the last one we're gonna do is gonna be resistance band side steps. So we're gonna do 12 going each way. So it's gonna be 24 total, but 12 per side. And we'll do 3 rounds of that. So stretching is my favorite cool down exercise, and it's always best to do when you're warm because you get the most benefits out of it. I also wanted to mention a few notes on how I decide when to do certain exercises in my workouts in case that helps you. If strength is in my workout plan for the day, I'll always start with that because it takes the most amount of energy and I have to be the most careful about my form. So today that was deadlifts for us. After strength, I put more compound exercises in the beginning. So we had leg press and hip thrust because you have to recruit more muscles and it's quite a bit more tiring. Then later in the workout, I'll do more higher reps that are less challenging, so I'll have that T-Rex hamstring curl and resistance band side steps, which are a bit more isolated, and I can control the intensity by changing the weight I put on. If you're working towards getting stronger or gaining muscle, check out this video that I made breaking down how you should structure your training plan. I'll see you in the next one!